In this secret laboratory deep down in the bowels of the earth, this man carries out his fiendish research.
Is it safe?
Clear. But I'm gonna torture you anyway.
No, that didn't hurt, did it?
You can't let a man die so that you can discover something?
Doctor, he's gone.
Oh my God, don't stop now!
Welcome to your yearly checkup. Now don't worry, the first lump's free. Now, I know my nimble fingers can be a little bit rough to deal with, so if you prefer, I could give you a mild sedative before I start poking and prodding around. Now don't worry, it's okay for me to do it. I'm a doctor. It's not like I'm some drunk teenager that was hired to drive you home while you were unconscious. I mean, who would do that? Nailed the segue.
They forgot my birthday. Classic. This is the single worst day of my entire life.
Universal Pictures presents...
Score, a direct hit.
16 Candles.
16 candles? Oh, that's right. You're not my patient at all today, so I'm glad we sorted that out before I got started. Oh, 16 Candles. A film about a rich girl who's mad that her family doesn't remember her birthday, and then spends the rest of the movie complaining about it, while simultaneously pining for boys and bigger tits. If you think that my synopsis is sexist, remember, I didn't write it, I just report back on it. Written by wunderkind and sex pervert John Hughes, during his rich, vapid kids with issues period, the film is considered a perennial classic. But do we remember this movie with rose-colored glasses? It is at the very least problematic, and at the worst, a rape apology film. Oh, what's that? You don't remember what I'm talking about? Well, I guess you don't remember this movie because what I'm talking about is the entire third act of the movie. So let's dive in, shall we? You can pull your pants up now. You don't need to have those around your ankles any longer. The movie's my patient, not you. We join Jake in a character so developed he's referred to on IMDb as the Nerd, played by Anthony Michael Hall. Jake explains his raison d'etre and how he feels empty with a woman who likes him but doesn't quite challenge his clearly superior intellect. He discusses how his girlfriend bores him because she had too much to drink, and if he so desired, he could go plug her hole until she died. If you think I'm being intense, we'll let Jake speak for himself.
Get a piece of ass anytime I want. Shit, I got Carol in the bedroom right now, passed out cold. Could violate her 10 different ways if I wanted to.
Attaboy, Jake. Point out the fact that you could take a woman with ease as a symbol of your power, and how you're such a good guy for being able to keep it in your pants with a completely vulnerable woman one room over.
What are you waiting for?
Attaboy, John Hughes. Way to double down.
Just not interested anymore.
Oh, what happened, Jake? She finally swallowed and the mystery is gone now? So you want to dispose of her like a Miss Kleenex? I'm sorry, you were discussing how you are a poet at heart and very sensitive. By God, please continue.
Yeah, it matters. She's totally insensitive. Look what she did to my house. She doesn't know shit about love. I think she cares about his partying.
Wait, Jake, aren't you the one that threw this party? Oh, and how much do you know about love, Eyebrow King? You're 17, and you just expressed how you could take somebody for hours without them waking. Tell me again how you're the god of love.
Make a deal with you. Let me keep these. I'll let you take Carolyn home.
So let's recap. Jake insinuates that a pervy little sociopath can take his passed out girlfriend home. A man who just scalded Jake for not raping her after he found out that she was unconscious. Only if Jake can have a pair of underwear from another woman without said woman's knowledge. Jake is the male hero of this movie.
Jake, I'm only a freshman.
So? She's so blitz she won't know the difference.
Jake, I don't have a car.
You can take mine.
Jake, I don't have a license.
So the nerd points out a couple of issues. He doesn't have a car. He doesn't have a license. He's drunk. Well, that last part he doesn't bring up, but he should.
Positive.
She's so drunk she can't even stand. Hilarious. Jake makes sure that there's a 6-pack of brewskis in the back of the car in case his buzz starts to wear off on his way to take her to Pound Town.
This is a mother... It's a Rolls Royce, Jake.
So?
Aren't these characters relatable? I mean, my dad had a Rolls Royce when I was a kid. I mean, I'm sure of it, he just must have kept it hidden from me. After Nerd leers at Caroline's panties and comes in his khakis, there's a hilarious scene where Caroline desperately tries to figure out where the hell she is and what's happening to her.
Who's he?
That's me.
Who are you?
I'm him.
Okay.
It's totally gonna have fun.
Define fun, Jake. You have literally no idea where he's going to take this woman and what he's going to do when he's used her up.
Don't be such a poop.
This is the point where the film reveals its lack of consent to the point where the nerd literally breaks the fourth wall and expresses his joy in a woman who is barely cognizant of her surroundings passing out in his crotch. This movie's supposed to be like a classic, right? The nerd eventually arrives at his friend's house to convince them to take a photo of an unconscious woman.
Ted, that's a Rolls Royce. Ted, that's the prom queen.
Hey guys, what's a better prize? The car or a woman who can't say no?
Smell pumpkin.
Oh, victory! Cheers!
Oh no, now we don't have any evidence.
What happened?
I have no idea.
She is oddly calm considering she had little to no idea how she got where she is.
Did we,
Yeah.
Well, she didn't do anything. She was asleep while you exorcised your demon.
Excuse me, but, do you know if, did I enjoy it?
I guess this is what happens when you have a middle-aged pervert who prides himself on being really good at writing teenagers.
What I meant was, did you?
You know, I have this weird feeling I did.
Adorable. This film is suggesting that it's not really rape if it's the right dick.
I mean, all kidding aside, this is rape, right? I mean, just full-on rape. John Hughes may be the voice of a generation, but that generation really sucked. Now, you could say it was a different time. That logic should be reserved for such things as trickle-down economics or, selling weapons for hostages. Goofy shit like that. But the 80s should not justify clear abuse of consent. You know why they didn't show them fornicating? Because if we saw it, we would all ask for a refund from the snuff film we were watching and then vomit in our laps. This movie is problematic on so many levels. Other than what I selected to go over, it's also riddled with racist stereotypes, toxic masculinity, and other issues with consent. But this scene, a nerdy male writer getting his aggressive and disturbing sex fantasies out in a movie that is intended for teenagers who still don't have a full grasp of right and wrong, and that may think that this type of behavior is acceptable, is unacceptable.
It is in the opinion of this doctor that this movie does not get a pass, and that it should have to have neighbors sign a document before it can move into their neighborhood.
Oh, no more Yankee, my wanky.